Alright, what's up everybody? My name is Zelkenon, and this is another Smite super builds. So I've done a Kali super build very long time ago in a land far away when Kali was her original model and her old skills, and there's probably items in that video that don't even exist at this point, but I don't exactly know. I'm not going to go back and check that out. But, yeah, frames are dropping, that's cool. So, off to the items. Alright, so actives, as I'm often mentioned, they vary depending on who you're facing and how your playstyle is. Some nice actives would be beads. Since Kali has no CC immune or CC removal, like, I think when she used to use her ulti, like her old model, she was CC immune, but that's not the case anymore. So beads are something to look onto, and maybe sprint if you need to chase down somebody and then stun them with your 3. So those are some recommendations there. Items, as most assassins build, they build Ninja Tabi and Jotunn's Wrath. This allows them to get more abilities off, since some of them are more ability aggressive or needy, I guess I should say. I don't know how to explain it. So that's why we have cooldown reduction, and having Jotunn's Wrath also helps out with our penetration, since we don't have the warrior boots. Next, moving on to Eye of Retaliation. Now this item has been buffed. I feel like this is a really great item for Kali, mainly for the passive. It's a really neat item for Kali. It is a little pricey, sitting at 2,700 gold, but I feel like it's really beneficial for the price. I mean, we have power and protections. Now, the passive, which is really cool, is if you're over 50% health, which you are probably most of the time, you gain plus 20 physical power. So, as long as you're above 50% HP, you have 60 physical power from this one single item, which is the most in a single item for physical items. And then when you go below 50% health, which Kali does that pretty often, you gain plus 20 protections. So you have that little brief moment when you're in your ulti, in your ulti form, and you're like one hit and you're pretty much dead. With complemented by Aussie, right after your ultimate's finished, as long as you keep attacking with Aussie, you gain a lot more lifesteal, and then you also gain protection. So you get a little bit more tankier, and you get some of your life back if you're not able to kill your target within your ulti. Time to get your HP back. Hope that kind of all makes sense. And speaking of Aussie, moving on to this. This is a really great item because, like I said before, especially with this build, Kali's a little bit more squishy. As most assassins are, we have no HP items in here, so she really benefits from this passive and this item in general, especially with the penetration. Like I said before, we don't have the warrior boots, so we're missing some penetration. So we have 15 along with the 11, so that's 26 out of what, 50? Yeah, so we have 26 out of 50 here. So it's pretty nice, and we gain more attack speed. Kali without items, her attack speed at level 20 is about 1.4-ish. So it's not too bad overall. We throw another 30% more. We are at 1.9, and the cap is 2.5. So at fairly good attack speed, and that equals more lifesteal for you. So the faster you hit, the more lifesteal you gain, in theory. So this works out really well for her. Next, with the final 2 items to increase your basic attacks by crap load is the Malice and Deathbringer combo with a massive crit and extra power and more attack speed from the Malice in general, and then the passive from Deathbringer. So those are obvious items to have on a physical. So with all this build, you can see our stats on the bottom left. We have 205 physical power, which that's quite a bit. 88 physical defense and 63 magical defense. Not too bad defense. This all comes from the Eye of Retaliation and her scaling as she gets more protections per level, and a 1.9 attack speed, as I mentioned before. So let's go ahead and go get red buff and try out some of our damage. Nice, not too bad, pretty fast, and we did some pretty nice crits. And also to mention, we can get away with less penetration items based on her passive. Her passive here, if you attack the person that is marked for death, in theory, you gain more protections, as you can see here, physical protections. So, that's a good deal. And moving on. So now we have red buff. Our power is now at 252. I need to go get my potions here.
This should be well.
I forgot she speaks when you buy items. I forgot that's the thing now. So we try some damage out with just red buff alone. Pretty nice. She does have a hit progression. Now let's try out her 2. I couldn't really see that. I can see the damage over time. The 1, basics. And there we go. So physical might 276, elixir 334. I just got poked on TeamSpeak. That's not cool. And I'm gonna move on to Robot. Okay, so let's try more abilities this time. So we see 4600. So, and also, I forgot to mention that. Also, don't forget you gain extra power. You get a power increase buff after you use your 3 on a target. So I don't know if you saw there when I stunned Raw, my attack went up to like 402 or something like that. I can see here, physical power buff scales from 10 to 50 as you level up, and it lasts from 4 to 8 seconds. This is really nice. So that way you can kind of get away with maybe having a little less physical power items, and maybe you want to be a little bit more tanky. If you're fighting a lot of physicals, if you're doing the March for Death all quality matches, like get Mystical Mark. It's a really great item. I personally love Mystical Mark on assassins, most assassins. It just works really well. So just keep that in mind. And that is it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later. And one more thing, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, let me know in the comments below. I like to hear from you. I always reply to all the comments I get that are able to be replied to, of course. I do read everything. So, once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.